Count them, ladies and gentlemen, not one, not two, but three reliable sources, they've all confirmed this. Well, I didn't exactly expect to make this video today because, for the main reason, I didn't expect to hear this news come out today. The college football world's going crazy. We already talked about the situation with JJ McCarthy, his girlfriend and dad. That's an entirely separate topic itself. Go watch that video. You got what just happened with USC and Tulane. I'll probably talk about that tomorrow, and then everything going on with LSU, we may talk about that tonight. To make a long story short, there's just a lot going on in a short time, and most recently, we know that Michigan Jim Harbaugh, they lost to TCU, in which a game that most people thought they should have won. They made a lot of mistakes, gave a lot of points away, but that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about the future Jim Harbaugh. And by the way, we're not doing no intro, no none of that. It's simple. If you like the content, consider subscribing. If you don't want to subscribe, that's cool too. We just got to get into this mess. It is being reported and stated, and let me make this clear, this isn't by some random dude on Twitter. This is from Bleacher Report, a very reliable source, that Jim Harbaugh, actually, quote unquote, I'm just going to show you what it says, Jim Harbaugh is expected to leave Michigan for the NFL if he is offered a job. To say that shocks me would be an understatement, and I have a hard time believing it because Jim Harbaugh loves Michigan. For those of you that don't know this, he took less money in a couple of years just so he could stay and build up the staff, and in 2020 during the COVID year, he also donated a large portion of his salary to people working for Michigan. Say what you want about Jim Harbaugh. I know a lot of people, you either love the guy, you hate the guy. I'll tell you this much, he's got my respect. And I'll be honest with y'all, I wasn't exactly a big-time Jim Harbaugh fan when he first got to Michigan because I felt like he was trying to replicate Nick Saban, but every single year that goes by, I'm slowly starting to like him even more. I like this guy. Outside of his coaching abilities, the way he carries himself, he's got that humble aspect. I love it. To go along with that, I just feel like Jim Harbaugh in Michigan at this point in time, it feels like it's a great fit. I think Michigan fans, y'all can vouch for me. You really like him, and he really likes y'all. It's not one of these things where it was like Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma. Everybody knew eventually he would leave that job. With this situation, it feels different. However, I guess we may not know everything. Count them, ladies and gentlemen, not one, not two, but three reliable sources, they've all confirmed this. One of those being Bruce Feldman, who's got like over 300,000 followers. He works for The Athletic and Fox Network, and the other one being Austin Meek, and the other one, I think that's a girl. I don't really know too much about her. I'm seeing this live and raw when you guys are. Check out this comment. It caught my eye. As a Michigan fan, I love everything he has done for us, but I truly believe it's time for him to go. He's been great, but with the right replacement, I think they meant to say, the program is in a phenomenal place with phenomenal talent. I believe we will win a title with JJ and truly hope Blake comes back. Yeah, that's a interesting comment to say the least. I disagree. I just don't know why any Michigan fan thinks it's time to replace him and it's time to find somebody else, because here's my thing. Let's say you do want to get rid of him. Well, who are you going to replace him with? Who's going to be better? Because you got to realize, and I think a lot of college football fans, they fall victim to this. They fail to realize the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Just because you fire a head coach, it doesn't automatically mean you're going to get an upgrade. You can get a downgrade. Check out what this Michigan fan had to say. Jim Harbaugh is one of the best football coaches in the country regardless of the level. Every year, teams will be interested in hiring him. We can't take this man for granted, and neither do whatever we need to keep him in Ann Arbor. I agree 100%. But just like this tweet says, a lot of people are putting two and two together. As we all know, Broncos, they were supposed to be good this year. It just didn't work out. To make a long story short, they have a new opening, and Jim Harbaugh, people are linking him towards that job. Like I said earlier, this is all breaking news, and I'm not too sure how I feel about it. Let me put it this way, and it's the best way I can say it. I have a hard time believing that Jim Harbaugh is going to leave Michigan this season. Even with these reports coming out, I don't see it happening. The only way, and I mean the only way whatsoever, it would even make sense for a second is just like this says, and everybody's talking about, I didn't even realize this. Paul Feinbaum said earlier, this is the 6th straight time it's happened at Michigan. Why is anyone surprised? It's postseason Jim all over. And he's referring to Jim Harbaugh's lost 6 straight postseason games. And before this one against TCU, the other 3 were not even close. They lost to Florida, what was it? Oh yeah, 41-15, lost to Bama 35-16, and in 2021 lost to Georgia 34-11. Maybe, and just maybe, Jim Harbaugh feels like, hey, I've done as good as I can do at Michigan. I'm just going to go back to the NFL. Maybe that's his thought process. That is the only scenario that makes sense to me, that he feels like he's reached his peak at Michigan and he has nothing left to accomplish, and I could see where he's coming from. I was trying to think, you know what this reminds me of, and I finally thought about it? Nick Saban about 3 to 4 years after he got to Alabama. After Nick Saban won a couple of championships here and there, everybody started talking about, oh, he's going to return back to the NFL. Oh, he may go to Texas. Y'all remember that when everybody's saying that Saban's going to leave Alabama and go to Texas? I feel like with certain head coaches, there will always be a discussion about them going to the next level or going to a different college. There's not too much more to say. I don't buy this, but hey, I mean, you got Bleacher Report talking about it. You got all these verified sources talking about it. So maybe they know something that your boy Matt doesn't. I am very curious, and I'm going to end this video off with a question. If Jim Harbaugh would or decided to leave Michigan, do you think that'd be the right decision or the wrong decision? I'll give you my answer to that question. I think it'd be a wrong decision because Michigan, they love him. He likes it there in his job. It's not really, I wouldn't even say, even if Michigan went 8-4, 7-5 next year, he's not going to get fired. He's not on the hot seat. 2 to 3 years ago, yeah, he was on the hot seat, but not anymore. I'll keep you guys updated. You already know that. I'm very curious. Let me know your thoughts down below. But